Hey YouTube, it's Magician34. I've got a pretty neat deck here, my Majestic deck, that you might want to try out to play with your friends. It's a lot of fun. It revolves around Stardust Dragon, Red Dragon, Arcfiend, obviously, and the ability to promote them into big giant synchro monsters. It uses Flamvells and whatnot to produce them relatively quickly. We'll go ahead and get into the deck. It runs 3 copies of Reborn Tengu. He's great for any deck that runs a decent number of tuners, of course. 3 copies of Flamvell Fire Dog, because he gets out your Flamvells and eventually sets you up for rekindling. It's also just a good beat stick and makes synchros really quickly. Nothing not to like about him. Flamvell Magician, good 4-star Flamvell tuner. Flamvell Archer, you can run Neo Flamvell Hedgehog if you want, but I like his ability to pump Fire Dog just a little bit more. Really just a toss-up though. Flamvell Pound, he's your 1-star non-tuner that you're going to be getting to make those Majestics. But he also recruits Flamvells when he dies in combat. Not bad. Flamvell Baby, yes it can pump, but it's mainly just because it's a 1-star tuner. 3 copies of Lila, Lightsworn Sorceress. We're running her so that you can have a little more spell trap destruction. She's guaranteed you the mill, whereas Raikou could get popped by an opponent's card effect during their turn and you wouldn't get the mill. She's a good target for Charge of the Light Brigade. Gets your stuff into the grave, basically. Speaking of which, Card Trooper, more instant gratification in milling. Plus he draws you a card when he dies, so helps keep your hand strong, which is important in this deck. Glow Bulb likes to go to the grave, likes to make synchros. Sangan searches all kinds of good stuff, including some of the cards I'm about to show you. We also run Call of the Haunted, so he's a great target for that, as is Card Trooper. We're running 2 copies of Majestic Dragon. He's a tuner, of course he can't sync into anything but the Majestic monsters, but they're not hard to make in this deck, so don't worry about it too much. We just have 2 to make sure we can get it off. Effect Veiler, we're just running 1, but we can Sangan for it. It's also a tuner, which is nice, especially for Red Nova. And we're running 2 copies of Battle Fader. That and your 1-star tuners like Glow Bulb can make your race card, that is Formula Synchron, and also stop big attacks, as sometimes you can be vulnerable to them, but with Call possibly on your back row, this is a little more reliable than Gores. Just getting into the spells, we run Dark Hole, good field cleaner. Heavy Storm, a very lovable card in this deck. 2 copies of Mystical Space Typhoon, because we really don't want to hit all 3. We already have a fair amount of spell trap destruction. Pot of Avarice. Be careful with what you put back into your deck. This is usually for restocking your synchros more than anything. Charge of the Light Brigade. Mills and searches. Thins your deck out. Foolish Burial gets what you need into the grave, obviously. Important in this deck. Mind Control, because we got a million tuners. 1 for 1 can help you get Majestic and Glow Up and all kinds of cool stuff. Can also put things into your grave from your hand, which is a nice bonus. 3 copies of Rekindling, of course. This is basically just instantaneous synchro, or maybe even just an overwhelming bum rush for game. It's a very good card. Then there's Monster Reborn, of course. 2 copies of Call of the Haunted. This can be used to bring back even your Majestic monsters, things like that. There are a lot of really good things you can get with Call. And last but not least, our defensive trap is 3 copies of Compulsory Evacuation Device. Keeps the field clean for us. The extra deck is really straightforward. Red Nova Dragon, Shooting Star Dragon, Majestic Red Dragon, Majestic Star Dragon, sorry I didn't have a ghost on that, Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Barrier, because we can make it, Stardust Dragon, 2 Stardust Dragons, obviously they don't have to be the ghost, 2 copies of Red Dragon Arcfiend, 1 copy of Scrap Dragon, 1 copy of Black Rose Dragon, 1 copy of Brynak, Dragon of the Ice Barrier, 1 TG Hyper Librarian, 1 Ally of Justice Cataster, and finally, of course, 1 Formula Synchron. And that's the deck. And until next time, rate, comment, subscribe, and check out my channel for more cool videos.